YouTube. The season of the witch is here. Y'all ready for that Destiny content? I got you guys a crazy, very hot, very explosive solo build, man, including the Sunshot and the Amara spawns. If you like this type of video, man, please do a like and subscribe. Your boy keep water. Everything water is going crazy. Let's get straight into the video. Coming in with the bread and butter of the build, we got the young Amara spines. Now this is one of the best exotics for hunters. Basically what this exotic does is it increases your trip mine, duration and blast radius, and also after ability you get trip mine grenade energy. Now if you combine this with the knife trick with your melee, which once you throw your melee, so this is how it goes. This is how the infinite combo goes. You want to throw your trip mine, right? You throw your trip mine, explodes, throw your trick knives, your melee. Then you're gonna get your trip mine back. You're gonna throw that. After you get your trip mine, you're gonna get one of your aspects called the gunpowder perk, which is gonna give you can throw an explosive. And once you throw an explosive, you're gonna get your grenade back. You're gonna throw that again, right? Then once you throw that again, you're gonna throw your melee, and then your grenade, and you're gonna get your grenade back again already. Then you're gonna throw that. But that's it. That's how the Amara card goes, and this is a really good exotic for PvP too, because the way you get your grenade back so quick is really important. It's crazy good. This is a very underrated type of exotic. A lot of people don't really use it too much because it's a little outdated. It's still very, very good. One of the best, probably better, but it's not as fun as other exotics, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, the young Amara card. Now let's get into the OG Sunshot exotic. Now we're gonna get to the Sunshot. Now this is the OG exotic for some people. You know, the Sunshot has been out for a very long time. Basically, also the catalyst doesn't even do anything, but basically just boost your range and your stability. So it's nothing really crazy. So you get the perk regardless. You don't really need the catalyst, honest truth, but if you can get it, get it. It's not hard to complete too compared to any other catalyst. But the Sunshot, now the Sunblast targets kill Sunshot explode in solar energy. Now this is really good because it's gonna go into your builds and how my aspects and my fragments are gonna go into this build. So basically any explosion with this build is gonna create scorches. And you're going to be able to scorch anything after this build. Also with your artifact, you're going to be able to create elemental orb that you can be thrown and create scorches. Now this is very underrated. This does a crazy amount of damage because the explosion, like again with one of my one of my fragments increases the blast radius of your explosion, which destroys anything in the radius. This is a very underrated weapon, man. I don't see it in a lot of solo builds, and it needs to be used. It's really, really good and so much fun to use too. But now we're gonna get into the aspects, the subclass, the fragments of this build. Let's get it. All right, for our subclass, for our super, we're gonna be going with Blade Barrage. You're gonna be getting the quickest super, so compared to Golden Gun and Marksman Gun, Blade Barrage is the fastest. For our ability, we're going to be using Gambler Dodge. You want to be able to reload your melee because the Amara build is going to go perfect with your melee because you're going to get your grenade a lot faster with that combo. And we're going to be, for our melee, we're going to be using Knife Trick. Obviously, you can use any of these to get that. But Knife Trick, because it counts as 3, because you throw 3 knives, it gives you more grenade energy. Now obviously we're going to be using Trip Mine because it's the only grenade you're supposed to be using for the Amara build. So yeah, make sure you're using Trip Mines. Now for our aspects, we're going to be using Knock 'em Down. Basically, the reason why you're using Knock 'em Down because you're going to be getting Radiant, Final Blows where you equip Throwing Knife, fully refunds your melee energy. So basically, as long as you get a Final Blow with your melee, you're going to be having infinite Radiant, and you're going to be having infinite melee charge, so which is pretty cool. Then Knock 'em Down. Now this is where the fun begins with the build. Now defeating targets, you're basically going to begin with any of your weapons or anything solar. You become a solar explosive that does crazy damage. Combine that with the Amara build with the Sunshot. I'm telling you, this build is going to be doing. It's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of scorches. But yeah, let's get into the fragments. Now for fragments, you're going to be using our first fragment. We're going to be using Ember of Torches, powered melee attacks against bandits, make you and nearby enemies radiant. So basically, right here, my throwing knife right here, it's a powerful melee. So throwing this is going to give me radiant even if I kill the enemy or not, which is pretty cool. Also, we're going to be using Ember of Searing. Defeating a scorched target grants melee energy and increase the fire spray. This whole build is going to be going off of scorching enemies and igniting enemies. So you're going to be having a lot of fire sparks. You're going to be getting your melee energy just in case your combo doesn't fully work with the Marakara and the throwing knife. Safer yet, damage you do with Scorch, which you're going to do a lot of Scorch damage, going to give you fire sparks, which gives you melee energy. Now, for our other fragment, we're going to be using Amber of Char. Now, this is going to be probably the most important of the build of all your fragments, because your solar ignitions spread Scorch to affected targets, and you guys know when enemies are scorched, you get fire sparks after killing them. Now, with the Sunshot, you're going to be creating a lot of ignitions. With the Trip Mine, you're going to be creating a lot of ignitions. With the Gunpowder Gamble, you're going to be creating a lot of ignitions. And then that leads up to our last but not least fragments, Amber of Eruption. Your solar ignitions have an increased area effect. And that's what you want to do, because this build is based off igniting, spreading Scorch after you ignite things. So you want to have your ignitions spread out to as far as possible, which is really good. Now that's it for the build. That's it for the subclass. That's it for the abilities and the aspects and the fragments. Now we're going to get into the stats and the mods. Also, I'm not fully, obviously it's the new season, I'm still catching back up. I already got the elemental mod for your artifacts. While using a solar subclass, solar weapon, front of bows have a chance to spawn a solar elemental orb. Solar orbs can be thrown to create solar explosion that scorches targets and damage. So this is another way you're going to be scorching targets, another way you're going to be spreading, you're going to be gaining fire sprites. So this is really cool to have. Obviously, once you rank up, you want to get anything that has to include solar, because you want to make your solar build as much as possible, which is really cool too. Now for our stats right here, I'm going, when you're doing anything PvE, especially when you're going higher than 1770 and higher, you want to go max resilience. You want to make sure your resilience is at the maximum. Putting it anywhere lower can put you in the deficit, and you don't want to do that. And also I'm going max discipline. Obviously you want to be able to spam your grenade as much as possible, and with the Marakara you're going to be able to do that a lot more, because you're going to be able to get it, combine it with your throwing knives and stuff like that. And also I'm going a little bit more of intellect. I want to get my super a lot faster too, so I get in about 6:30, so which is pretty cool. You're going to be also creating a lot of orbs with your mods. Now we're going to get into your mods now. Right here, you guys can screenshot this part if you want to. The basic stuff for my cloak, obviously I'm going to be using Powerful Attraction, Reaper. These right here this is gonna bring all the orbs to you, and this is right here is gonna, after you use a class ability, basically after using your dodge, you're gonna create an overpower guaranteed, which is pretty cool. Right here, you do not want to go resilience when you already have max resilience, because max resilience after 100 does not matter. So you want to go with emergency reinforcement. Basically this just reduces damage when your shield is gone, so which is pretty cool, and I'm using that twice. Obviously for my arms, I am using right here the grants class energy. You want to be able to cause as much damage while gaining class energy, which is pretty cool. And same here for my melee, because you're not going to be able to kill some of them, because it's going to be like a really infinite loop with this build, so which is really cool. Also for my headpiece, I'm using Ashes of Asset, and I'm using Solar Siphons, and I'm using Domino. So yeah, that's it for my mods, man. If you guys like this video, man, please leave a like and subscribe. It's your boy Everything Water, and water is everything. And we out.